And yet, listening to the broad thrust of the speech, and we understand there will be further speeches from the Prime Minister and the Chancellor in the coming days and weeks, the broad brushstrokes that were being set out yesterday, talking about moving away from the sort of big state economy that we've seen in the last 2 years, talking about bringing down taxation, talking about liberalising, cutting tariffs, all of the rest of it. The Tory party's always been pretty good at reinventing itself. Is the risk to the Liberal Democrats and indeed the Labour Party that the Tory party successfully reinvents itself, throws away the legacy of the last 2 years and returns to a pro-growth, low-tax kind of party?
Well, you say the last 2 years, but the Conservatives have been in government now for 12 years. And there's another 2 years before the next general election is due. So they're going to have to answer for what they've been doing, not just in the last 2 years, but what they've been doing generally. And it's all very well to make speeches, but, you know, speeches don't put food on the table. Speeches don't actually solve the problem, action does. And no sooner has the Prime Minister made that speech than we see in the Financial Times this morning that Rishi Sunak's mistakes have cost the British taxpayer £11 billion. So, you know, making speeches is one thing, but that is not what actually makes a difference to people every day. And what we are finding on the doorsteps, what voters are saying to us, is that they are unhappy with this government. They feel that they've been let down, that they voted for one thing and they're getting another. Partygate has also had a huge influence because people no longer feel that they can have confidence in this Prime Minister. So when he stands up and makes a speech and says, I'm going to do this, people take it with a pinch of salt because they've heard a lot of things that this Prime Minister has said over the past 2 years which no longer ring true.